Welcome to Static Routing Demo. This is the second video demo on static routing, and this covers IPv6 standard static routes. This would be our topology for this video demo, considering only the IPv6 addressing. So let's move on to our demo. Okay, so this would be our topology for this video demo. And we are going to start with identifying the IPv6 network address assigned to this topology here. Okay, so starting with R1. So R1 uses 2001 DB8 ACAD3:/64 for the LAN network. And between R1 and R2, it uses 2001 DB8 ACAD2:/64. So for R3, there are three, or for R2, there are three directly connected networks to it. You've got 2001 DB8 ACAD1:/64, ACAD2:/64, and 2001 DB8 Cafe 1:/64. Now for R3, we have two directly IPv6 network connected to it. You've got Cafe 1 and Cafe 2 here. Now we are going to assign our second usable IP on the host or on the computers, and the first usable IP, okay, on the default gateway. So let's start the IP assignment now. So let's start with a PC here. Okay, so let me click on PC1 here, desktop, IP configuration. So we will be assigning an IPv6 address here. Okay, so this would be 2001, right, colon DB8, okay, colon ACAD, okay, colon 3, okay, so you've got colon. Okay, so since this is the PC, the first or the second usable IP will be assigned to it. So you've got colon 2, and this is /64. All right. Now, for our default gateway, this is the first usable IP. Control C here. Just copy it and paste it. So this is your default gateway, first usable IP. All right. So we are done with IPv6 assignment on PC1. Let's do the same on PC2. So click on PC2, desktop, IP configuration, and then look down on IPv6 configuration. So in here, you've got 2001 DB8 ACAD. This one here is 1, okay, colon 2/64. All right, and the default gateway is basically the first usable IP on that network. You've got 2001 DB8 ACAD 1, all right, colon 1 here. Okay, so we're done with PC2. It's time to move on PC3. Okay, now on PC3, so desktop, IP configuration. So IPv6 address, this is 2001 DB8. This one here is Cafe. All right, so you've got 2, and then colon 2/64. Okay, and the default gateway is the first usable IP you'll have there. Okay, so we are done now with an IP assignment on those PCs, PC1, PC2, PC3. All right. So next is, let's configure the router now for IPv6. Okay, so let's start with router 1 here. So CLI, all right? So we could give it a name. So enable, configure terminal, host name, R1. Now for IPv6 assignment and configuration on any router, okay, or a layer 3 switch, you could start with something like IPv6 unicast routing, right? So you have IPv6, okay, unicast, right? routing. Ah, it should be inside the config. Okay, so IPv6 unicast routing. Okay, so you need to start your configuration should you intend to configure the routers or layer 3 switches with IPv6 with IPv6 unicast routing. So now we are ready to configure it. Let's start with this interface here. Let's show the interfaces. Right? Okay, so let's click on R1. So you've got IPv6, okay, address. Okay, so that would be 2001, right? DB8. Okay, so beware of typing. Right, ACAD. Take an extra caution here. ACAD 3. Okay, colon 1. Right, so that would be this interface there. What happened? So we should have here, let me just copy it. Okay, so we should have the interface here. So interface G0/0/0. Okay, so IPv6 address 2001. Okay, 2001 DB8 colon ACAD colon 3. Okay, you've got colon 1/64. Right, and then no shutdown. All right, so we have here our indicator that's going to be green. Okay, so let's move on to the next interface, which is interface serial 010 here. So interface serial 010. Okay, so IPv6 address 2001 DB8, right, colon ACAD colon 2 colon this one here is 1, right, /64. Just double check it, that's 2. Okay, colon 1/64. All right, no shutdown. Okay, so we are done with IPv6 IP assignment on R1. Let's move on R2. Now on R2, let us display all the interfaces there and in here. All right, let's click on R2 here. CLI. Okay, so let's give it a name first. This will be enable configure terminal. All right, host name R2. Host name. All right, so next would be IPv6 unicast routing. All right, so we can now start the IP assignment. So let's start with interface G0/0/0 there. So IPv6 address, that would be 2001 colon DB8 colon ACAD colon 1 colon 1/64. All right, so that would be the IP address here as a default gateway for PC2. All right, so next is no shutdown. All right, so the next one here is this interface here, serial 010. Let's get into it. So interface serial 010, okay, IPv6 address, you're gonna have 2001 colon DB8 colon ACAD colon 2 colon 2. All right, so it's this one. So let's check it. 2001 DB8 ACAD colon 2 colon 2/64. Okay, and then no shutdown. All right, so the next one is this interface here. Okay, so let's move it on the left side. Okay, so that would be interface serial 0, right? 1 1. So IPv6 address, you're gonna have 2001, okay, DB8 colon cafe colon 1 colon 2 slash 64. Right, and then no shutdown. Okay, so we're done now with the IPv6 assignment on R2. Now let's go ahead and configure R3 here. Okay, so CLI, so enable, configure terminal, we'll have hostname R3, IPv6, unicast routing. All right, so interface G0/0/0 there. All right, so IPv6 IP address or IPv6 address, you're gonna have 2001, all right, DB8 colon cafe, all right, colon 2 colon 1 slash 64. Just double check it. So IPv6 address 2001 DB8 cafe 2 colon 1 slash 64. That's correct. And then no shutdown. All right, so the next one is the serial 011 here. Okay, so interface serial 0/1/1 there. All right, so IPv6 address, that would be 2001 colon DB8 colon cafe, all right, colon 1 colon 1 slash 64. All right, so cafe 1 colon 1 slash 64, and then no shutdown. All right, so we are done with an IPv6 assignment on these devices, okay, including PC1, 2, and 3, and these routers R1, R2, and R3 here. All right, so let's fast forward time, and let's check if we can now ping directly connected devices. Go to PC1, all right, command prompt, and type in ipconfig. Okay, so let's see. So you'll have your ipconfig. Okay, so let's check the default gateway. So our default gateway here is the first usable IP. So you could copy this, all right, and then ping IP address, which is the default gateway here, enter. So you have now here a reply. All right, so same thing. Let's do the same on PC2, command prompt. All right, so let's try to ping the default gateway. So ipconfig. Okay, so the default gateway here is the first usable IP. All right, so let me just copy it and then try to ping it. Okay, so we can now ping the default gateway. So also on PC3 here, command prompt. All right, so ipconfig. Okay, and let's try this. Copy. Okay, so ping. Let's ping our default gateway. Paste it. It's working. Now, how about the routers directly connected to each other? All right, so let's check now the connectivity among these routers. All right, so let's start with R1 here. Okay, so on R1, okay, so enable. Okay, so let's ping the next hop. So that would be ping. Okay, ping IPv6. All right, and then that would be 2001. Okay, colon DB8 colon ACAD, right, colon 2, and then colon 2 there. Okay, so we can ping it. Okay, so same thing. We go to R2 now. Okay, and let's try to ping if we could ping this R1 here, interface. All right, so that would be enable. We got ping IPv6. All right, and then that would be 2001 DB8. All right, colon ACAD colon 2 colon 1. So you've got 100% success rate. Okay, so that means we are connected. Since they are directly connected, it should be okay a 100% success rate. All right, so same thing from R2 going to R3. Let's check it out. So I've got ping. Okay, so DB8 colon cafe colon 1 colon 1. All right, so successful. And last, let's check R3 going to R2 since they are directly connected to each other. Okay, so you could have here, so enable, okay, ping IPv6 2001 DB8 colon cafe colon 1 colon 2. All right, so enter. Okay, so therefore we can conclude that all of these devices now are directly connected to each other. All right, so we can now go with the routing configuration. All right, so now that we are done on the IPv6 assignment, so the next thing to do is to configure now the standard IPv6 static routing configuration. And our objective is we should be able to provide fault connectivity, okay, on the given topology. So therefore, we'll be able to ping PC1, PC2, PC2 to PC3, PC3 to PC1, and vice versa, or any IP addresses on this topology. So let's start with the standard IPv6 static routing configuration. Okay, so let's start with examining the IPv6 routing table here. So you could have enable, all right, show IPv6 route. Okay, now if you will see here, okay, so currently the routing table content is just the directly connected networks. Okay, so we don't have S here, which denotes static. Same thing with R2, you have to do the same. Okay, so you could have your show IPv6 route, right? And in here, it also displays, okay, so the directly connected networks. Now let's do the same on R3. Okay, you could have your enable show IPv6 route, right? So we also need to configure R3 for static routing. So right now, what you can see here are the directly connected networks. Okay. Now, if we are going to ping, okay, so from PC1 going to PC2, it's a failure. So let's do that. Okay. Initial testing so that later on we'll be able to ping it. Right. So we're gonna have ping, okay, IP address of PC2, which is 2001, all right, DB8, okay, ACAD, right, colon 1, colon 2. So this is the IP address of PC2. Okay, so it's destination host unreachable. Also, we do it on PC2. From PC2, all right, so let's ping IPv6 address of PC1. So that would be ping, okay, so 2001 DB8 colon ACAD colon 3 colon colon 2. Okay, so this is the IP address of PC2, right? So 2001 DB8 ACAD 3 colon colon 2. So as you can see, it's still a destination host unreachable. So there is no ping or reply from each of the workstations here. So packet loss is 100. So after we have configured the static routing, so these two computers here, PC1 and PC2, after our testing, will be able to establish physical connection, and it should be successful. Same thing with PC2 and PC3, and vice versa. Same thing with PC1 and PC3. All right, so let's start now the configuration. So let's go on router 1. So let's do the configuration here. Just like in IPv4, we have to specify the remote networks. All right, so let's start with R1. So configure terminal. So to configure IPv6, so that would be IPv6 route. Okay, the network or the remote network. The first remote network on R1 is this one from R2 LAN. All right, so which is 2001 colon DB8 colon ACAD colon 1, okay, colon colon /64. Okay, and our next hop IP address here is basically this link here, which is 2001, all right, colon DB8 colon ACAD colon 2 colon colon 2. So that would be our next hop IP address, right? So double check it, 2001 DB8 ACAD 2 colon colon 2, right? So enter. So that is our first route. So the second route would be the link between R2 and R3. Okay, so that is this one here. Okay, so that would be IP route or IPv6 route. Okay, so 2001 DB8, right, ACAD colon, or that is cafe. So cafe colon 1 colon colon /64. Okay, so this is also our exit interface. So let's just copy it. All right, paste. Okay, and the last one would be this route here. So let's just arrow up. So that would be going to DB8 cafe 2, right? So this would be going to cafe 2 colon colon /64. So that's it. So we are done with specifying the IPv6 route on R1. So what you can see here is show IPv6 route. All right, do show IPv6 route. Okay, so in here, if you will observe, we already have the existence of S. So we have 3 S's here. All right. Next, let's configure R2. Okay. So on R2, we have 2 remote interfaces or remote network here. So just do the same, configure terminal. Okay. So IPv6 route. All right. So you've got 2001 colon DB8 colon ACAD colon 3 colon colon, all right, /64. Okay, and our exit interface to reach this network from R2 is this one. So that would be 2001 colon DB8, all right, colon ACAD colon 2 colon 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 colon, what's that, 2 1. All right, so this is not 3. All right, so this is 2 colon colon 1 here. So this is our next hop IP address. All right, so let's double check it. So to reach 2001 DB8 ACAD 3 / 64, that would be via 2001, all right, DB8 ACAD 2 / 1. All right. Okay, so right now, okay, so we should be able now to ping, okay, PC2 from PC1 and PC1 from PC2 and vice versa. So let's complete this first before we test that, right? So let us define the second remote network from R2, which is this one. All right, so IPv6 route. Okay, so 2001 DB8, okay, cafe colon 2 / 64. All right, so and that is via 2001 DB8, okay, what's that, cafe, okay, 1 / 1. All right, so this is our next hop IP address. Enter. Okay, so evaluating the routing table now for R2. So that would be do show IPv6 route. So we should be seeing two S's here. All right, and these are this first one and the second one here. Okay, so let's go back to PC1 and test our ping earlier. Okay, so just arrow up there. We will be pinging PC2. All right, so there is now a reply. All right, so pinging, okay, PC2. Now from PC2 to PC1, that would be ACAD 3, okay, / 2. This should now be able to ping. Okay, so enter. So we have now here a reply. So that means we have the connection from PC2 to PC1 and PC1 to PC2 and vice versa. All right, so the next thing here is we need to configure R3. So let's go back to PC1 and let's try to ping PC3 here before we configure the static routing. Okay, and we expect, of course, it is a failure. All right, so you could have ping, okay, so 2001 DB8, all right, IP address of PC3, that's cafe colon 2 / 2. All right, so it's a failure. Same thing, pinging from, okay, PC2 going to PC3. Let's do the same. We've got ping here. Okay, so 2001 DB8 colon cafe colon 2 / 2. So same thing, it should be a failure. Okay, so that would become successful if we are done configuring static routing or IPv6 static route on router 3. So let's do it. Okay, so click on router 3. Let us configure our router 3 for static routing. So enable, configure terminal. Okay, so IPv6 route. Okay, so let us define our first remote network here, which is 2001. All right, so DB8 colon ACAD colon 3 / /64. All right, so that would be our first remote network from R3, and that is via, okay, the exit interface here, which is 2001. All right, 2001 colon DB8 colon cafe colon 1 colon was that 2, right? So that's 2 there. So 2001 DB8 cafe 1 / 2. Okay, so enter. So that would be our first remote network from R3. This is our second remote network here. So let's just arrow up and change that 3, okay, to 2. So you're gonna have here, this would be colon 2, colon slash 64, also same next hop IP address. All right. And also this ACAD 1 here. All right. So that would be, okay, 1. 1, colon. So that's it. So we're done. Now let us evaluate the routing table here. Okay, so do show IPv6 route. So we have now here 3 S's. Right? So configured via IPv6 standard routing configuration. So more or less, we can now ping, okay, PC1 to PC3, and it should be a success now. So arrow up. So you have now a reply from PC3. Same thing. Let's go back to PC2 and try to ping PC3 from here, and it's working. Now, it's time to ping from PC3 going to PC1 and PC2. Let's do it. All right, so from PC3, okay, let us ping PC1. So that would be ping 2001 DB8 colon ACAD colon 3 colon 2. This is PC1 here. All right. Now we can also ping PC2 from PC3. So, and that is on ping 2001. All right. DB8 ACAD. This is 1 colon 2. And it should be a success. All right. So we have now reply coming from PC2. Okay. So that's how simple it is to configure the standard IPv6 routing on this video demo. All right. So we already have established, okay, the full connectivity amongst devices on this given topology. So that's the end of this video demo. So thank you very much for watching and listening. Have a great day.